Hey, what's going on? Hope everyone is good. So, I wanted to do a quick little video to talk about my favorite bag, a bag I am loving, a bag I am reaching for every day almost, and that is the Louis Vuitton Pochette Métis. And I know I'm probably tardy for the party, a little bit late to the game because I think this bag has been around a while. I'm not really sure how long, 7 to 10 years probably at this point. Mine is pre-loved. She is from 2013. But like I said, I discovered her and I saw her. And when I saw this bag, I thought, this bag is, I don't know, I just really liked it. It spoke to me. I liked the silhouette. I loved everything about it. I love a good crossbody, especially a medium one. And I don't know, as soon as I kind of discovered it, the search began. And when I say the search began, buying a bag for me is kind of a journey, and I don't know about for anybody else, but you have to decide, do you want to buy it brand new from the fashion house, or do you want to buy it pre-loved? Is it fitting your price point and budget? Is it worth it at the brand new price point? Is it better to get it pre-loved? So it starts for me with research. I'm going to get on YouTube. I'm going to see what other people are saying about it. I'm going to see if it's available brand new, how much it is, how much it's going for on the pre-loved market, and try to find that sweet spot if I decide to find it or if I decide to buy it pre-loved. So as I started my research, one of the first things I kind of stumbled upon were all the complaints and problems. I, started watching one video where a guy said he had bought the bag. I think he had bought it in Paris, and immediately he started to have problems with the clasp. And so I'm like, oh, great. That's. And then the way he explained how Louis Vuitton handled it, and I've had my own run-ins, my own issues with Louis Vuitton and their customer service and how they handle problems. And that actually says a lot about a company. How they deal with problems, to me, says just as much about about them as how they deal with everyday, run-of-the-mill experiences. Actually, it might even say more. So that means a lot to me. If there are known issues, how is a company handling it? And I didn't care for the way he said they handled it, kind of put me off. The other thing I found is people were complaining about the glazing. And so, bam, right off the bat, two red flags: the clasp, the glazing, and that Louis Vuitton was giving people a hard time about dealing with both. And so that kind of had me press pause on even thinking about buying this bag. But I don't know if y'all know, sometimes bags just will not let you go. They keep calling your name, and this one kept calling mine. So every time I would be out and about and I would see it, I honestly felt like it was kind of haunting me. I was out at our fashion center with my husband, and I saw a couple people with it, and I was like, dang, I really like that. And then I would see people on social media platforms with it, and every time I saw it, you can see things and just be like, oh, that's nice, but you don't want it for you. But this one I just kept being drawn to. So I was like, let me go back to the hunt. Let me go back to the search and see if I can find one. I knew that I didn't want it new because the price point it was at, with the problems it was having, to me, was problematic. I don't want to deal with it. So I was like, let me get one that's tried and true, hopefully, and has already had its problems, has already had its issues, or maybe never had them, and maybe get it at a better price point. And so that's what I set out to do. So I buy and sell on Poshmark, and one day I was on there and I found it, and the price was pretty decent. So I reached out to the seller and said, hey, do you have any wiggle room? And the seller was like, I do, but I also sell, I have my own site that I guess they had a store in Texas, and they had a website for the items they sell in their store. So he was like, if you go there, you'll see it for $200 or $300 less. And I did, and there it was, and I did my research on that store. Everything seemed legit, and so I was like, cool, I will. It was well below any price I had seen it. It almost kind of made me like nervous, like, okay, is this legit? But In the end, it was, and the only problem I had was with how they packaged it and how long it took to get to me. But once it arrived, it was all good, and you know, it came with all its authentication paperwork. I did my own authentication steps, and everything is great. And I even get the bonus feature of something that I don't believe is on the new bags, which is the leather pull tab that's on the zip pull is on this one since it's from 2013. I don't think that this is a feature that's on the newer ones, and I really like it. I enjoy having it and using it, so I'm actually kind of glad that I got an older version. And I don't, you know, the clasp has, I mean, I don't know why this person sold theirs, who knows, but the clasp, I haven't had any issues, and I've had this for about 3 months now, 3 or 4 months. I think it's 3 months. So the clasp has been great. I mean, sure, it has some scratches, but I mean, that's to be expected. It's, you know, 8 years old. So I haven't had any issues. Mine is not crooked, thank goodness. It aligns well. I think that I've heard that that's a problem for people too, is that their clasp or their flap and clasp is crooked. And so mine is not. So, you know, I lucked out in getting a really good used or pre-loved bag. I'm not going to go into too many details. I think this is a well-covered, well-known bag. I've been using it every single day. I absolutely love it. Although I said you know, I mean, I guess there are pros and cons to anything. There are not too many cons for me for this bag. It's tough to film and open the zipper. Although I love the zipper pull, I think one of the cons, if there are any, is that this compartment back here is not very big, and honestly my phone doesn't even fit in there. Well, it will if I like kind of shove it in there, and then it's kind of bulky. So it's just, you know, this is not a great not much can go in here except maybe some papers, card, I guess folded up money, but it isn't a great spot for your phone because it's just not that, you know, not very big. Of course, there's also the adjustable strap, which, you know, this bag had a whole life before me, as all pre-loved items do. I don't know if this was the original strap or someone replaced it. The only reason I questioned, you know, was this the original strap is because it's from 2013 and it's still pretty stiff. So you're talking 8 years and it hasn't softened, and that could just be how it is. It could be that the previous owner never really used it. Maybe they always carried it with the handle. Maybe they just didn't wear the bag very much. I have no idea, but the strap is not uncomfortable. It just surprises me that it's still so stiff, but I don't, it doesn't give me any problems. I'm actually fine with it. Yeah, it's in pretty good shape, and you know, the only thing, it's gonna maybe be hard for me to show, but the glazing has a lot of like dents and marks in it. But again, to be expected for a bag that's 8 years old. I personally have not had any problems opening and closing mine. You know, the clasp does what it's supposed to do, I suppose. I just think that this is a great medium-sized bag. It's going to be tough for me to really show all the compartments on the inside with one hand, but that's probably one of my favorite aspects or features about the bag is all the different compartments on the inside. It's a great way to keep you organized. You know, I know what's in the front, I know what's in the middle, I know what's in the back. The back flap is kind of skinny, so all I really keep back there is sunglasses. The slip pocket, I keep some loose cash. Mine was made in France, which is nice, especially in pre-loved. In the middle compartment, which I think is probably the biggest, I keep the smallest toiletry pouch so that everything is not loose in there. And in the front, I always keep my key clays and my wallet, which I've carried a couple different wallets. A medium, you know, I think I've carried the Victorine, and you know, the Clemens would fit nicely, or the Zippy would fit nicely in the middle here. So it's a great way to just stay organized and just kind of know where everything is. Just all these compartments are just some really great features about this bag. She's great to look at, fun to wear, versatile, easy to pack. I just really like this bag. I have been wearing her every day. I'm glad I got it. I'm glad I got it pre-loved because I think the price for it now is a bit outrageous, especially with all the issues, unless they fix those issues. I saw one woman who had a video where this little, I don't know what this little thing is. I don't know what the official name of it is, but hers, you know, it's supposed to keep, it's supposed to keep this flap, you know, stationary, keep it from flapping around and looking awkward. And hers just kept, it wouldn't stay up. And I'm like, and she even said she had reached out to Louis Vuitton and they they just weren't handling it right. And I'm like, I'm not going to spend the kind of money you have to spend to get this new only for it to have issues and for Louis Vuitton. You know, I don't want it to be more of a hassle than it's worth. So I am happy that I found it pre-loved. I'm happy that I found one that was in really good condition, especially for being 8 years old. I have just really enjoyed carrying this bag. If you're thinking about it, I say think about it pre-loved unless you are just really picky or a stickler for having new. And there's nothing wrong with that. I used to be exactly that person, but I'm on the pre-loved board. I'm on it now. I'm with it. So I love this bag. Absolutely love it. So I just wanted to share it with you all in case anyone is also late to the game in discovering this little beauty, this little gem. All right, y'all. Bye.